end at stage 4, paragraph page 220. And our last head word was president, new word type of lesson.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start with revision. Ready? Here we
Okay.
go.
I'm ready.
What time did you come here last lesson? What time did you come here last lesson? I came here
I
at
came here at 9 a.m.
last lesson.
at last lesson.
What's the pass of break? What's the pass of break? The pass of
The
break
possible
is
break
broke.
is broke.
Did you ever break an arm or a leg when you were a little child? Did you ever break an arm or a leg when you were a little child? Yes or no?
No,
I
I never
never
broke
an arm
an
or
arm
a leg
or a leg
when I
when I
was
was a
a little
little
child.
child.
What did you wear yesterday? What did you wear yesterday? I wore,
I wear
I wore
I wore black shirts yesterday.
yesterday. Very good. Did I write anything on this piece of paper last lesson? Did I write anything on this piece of paper last lesson? Yes or no?
No,
You
you
didn't
didn't
write anything
write
on
anything
that piece
on the
of paper
piece of paper
last.
last lesson.
What time did you get up this morning? What time did you get up this morning? I got up
I
at
got up at 7 a.m.
this
this
morning.
morning.
Did we stand up after the last lesson? Did we stand up after the last lesson? Yes, we stood
Yes,
up
we stood
after
up
the last
after
lesson.
the
Very
last
good.
lesson.
Did the sun shine last week? Did the sun shine last week? Yes or no?
Yes,
The
the
sun
sun shone
shone last week.
last week.
Did you take any photographs on your last holiday? Did you take any photographs on your last holiday? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I took some
photographed
photographs
on my
on my
last.
last holiday.
Did you tell me your name? Did you tell me your name? Yes, I
Yes,
told
I
you
told you my
my name.
name.
Did anybody in your family drive a car last year? Did anybody in your family drive a car last year? Yes or no?
Yes, somebody in
Somebody.
my family
Dr-
drove a car last year.
Very good. Did you remember all the new words last lesson from the lesson before that? Did you remember all the new words last lesson from the lesson before that? No, I didn't
No, I
remember
didn't
all the
remember
new
all the
words
new
last
words
lesson
last
from the
lesson
lesson
from the
before that.
lesson before that.
Some I remembered
Some I
and
remembered,
some I
and
forgot.
some I
Ve-
forgot.
Very good. What did you see in this classroom last lesson? What did you see in this classroom last lesson? I saw some
I
books,
saw some
some
books,
chairs,
some
a
chairs,
table, a
a
teacher,
table,
a table,
a teacher,
etc. in
etc.
that classroom
in that
last
in
lesson.
that classroom last lesson.
Very good. Where did you sit during the last lesson? Where did you sit during the last lesson? I sat
I sat here
during the
on my
last lesson.
during the last lesson.
On my chair during the last lesson. That's also correct. What did you eat for your lunch yesterday? What did you eat for your lunch yesterday? I ate some
I ate some bread for my lunch
yesterday.
yesterday.
Did I give you a dictation last month? Did I give you a dictation last month? Yes or no?
Yes,
You
you give
gave me
us a dictation
last month.
uh, last month.
Did what? When did last season begin? When did last season begin? Last season
Last season
began
began
on the month
on
of.
the month of September.
Very good. What did you drink with your breakfast this morning? What did you drink with your breakfast this morning? I drank some
Drank some coffee
with my
with my breakfast
this
this
morning.
morning.
Very good. How long did you sleep last night? How long did you sleep last night? I slept
I slept about hours
last night.
last night.
Very good. Are there any hills around your city? Are there any hills around your city? Yes or no?
Yes, there
There
are
are
some
some hills
hills
around my.
around my town.
Very good. Do people generally laugh when they're happy or unhappy? Do people generally laugh when they're happy or unhappy? People
People
generally laugh
generally
when
laugh
they're.
when they are happy.
Very good. Do you laugh when you watch comedies? Do you laugh when you watch comedies? Yes, I
Yes, I
laugh
laugh
when I
when I
watch.
watch comedies.
Very good. What's the opposite of the word friend? What's the opposite of the word friend? The
The
opposite
opposite
of
of
the
the
word
word
friend is enemy.
friend is enemy.
Were Britain and America enemies during the Second World War? Were Britain and America enemies during the Second World War? No. Britain
No,
and
Britain
America
and
weren't
America
enemies
weren't
during the
enemy
Second World War.
during Second World
They were
War. They
friends.
were
Very good. Are there any old castles in your city? Are there any old castles in your city? Yes or no?
No,
There aren't
there
any.
were
There
no,
aren't
any old there
castles.
aren't any
Any
old
old
castle
castles in my.
in my
Very good. Okay. Are you hungry at the moment? Are you hungry at the moment? Yes or no?
no, I'm not
And
hungry at the moment.
are there a lot of hungry people in some parts of the world today? Are there a lot of hungry people in some parts of the world today? Yes, there
Yes,
are
there
a
are
lot
a
of
lot of hungry
hungry people in
people
some
in some
parts of
parts of
the
the world today.
today. Very good. Does your stomach make noises when you're hungry? Does your stomach make noises when you're hungry? Yes, my
Yes,
stomach
my stomach
makes
makes
noises
noisy
when
when
I'm
I'm hungry.
very good. Tell me a geographical fact. Tell me a geographical fact, please. Mount
Mount
Everest
Everest
is the
is
highest
the
mountain
highest mountain
in
in
the
the
world.
world.
Tell me a historical fact. Tell me a historical fact, please. The Second
The
World War
Second World War
began
began
in
on
1939.
1939.
Tell me a mathematical fact. Tell me a mathematical fact, please.
2 plus 2 equals 4.
Very good. When you get hungry, what do you do? When you get hungry, what do you do? When I get hungry,
When I get
I
hungry,
eat.
I eat.
Do you think your English is getting better? Do you think your English is getting better? Yes,
Yes,
I
I
think
think
my
my
English
English is
is.
getting better.
About how much does a doctor get a month? About how much does a doctor get a month? A doctor gets
A doctor
about
gets about 1 million yen
per
a
a
month.
month. Very good. Do you get any cards from your friends on your birthday? Do you get any cards from your friends on your birthday? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
don't
don't
get
any
any
card
cards
for my
from my
friends
birthday on my
on my
birthday.
birthday.
Can I get clothes from a bookshop? Can I get clothes from a bookshop? No, you can't
No,
get
you can't get
clothes
clothes
from
from
a.
bookshops.
Which animal do we get milk from? Which animal do we get milk from? We get milk
We get
from.
milk from a cow.
Very good. Will you go and get a pen for me from the next room? Will you go and get a pen for me from the next room, please? Yes, I'll
Yes,
go
I'll
and
go
get a pen
and get a
for
pen
you
for
from the
you
next room.
from the next room.
Very good. When children are young, do their parents get them from school each day? When children are young, do their parents get them from school each day? Yes, when
Yes,
children are young,
when children are
their
young, their
parents get
parents
them
get
from
them
school
from
each day.
school each day.
Will you get that book from the table and give it to me? Will you get that book from the table and give it to me, please? Yes, I'll
Yes,
get that
I'll get
book
a
from the
pen
table
from the table
and give
and
it to
give it
you.
to you.
Very good. What time do you generally get to school for your lesson? What time do you generally get to school for your lesson? I generally get to
I
school
generally get to
at
school at 9 a.m.
for my lesson.
for my lesson.
Right. What time do you generally get home at the end of the day? What time do you generally get home at the end of the day? I generally
I
get
generally get
home at
home
about
at 8 at about 8 a.m.
at
at the end of the day.
like when you come from work, 8 p.m. at the end of
8
the
p.m.
day.
at, at the end
The
of
end
the
of the
day.
day. Very good. What are the general meanings of the verb get? What are the general meanings of the verb get? The general
The
meanings
general
of the
meanings
verb
of
get
the verb
are
get are
become
become
and
and
obtain.
obtain.
If you are not sure when to use get, what is it better to do? If you are not sure when to use get, what is it better to do? If I'm not sure
So
when
I'm
to
not
get
sure when to use
get,
get.
it's better to
It's
use
better to
the other
use
verb
the other
with the
word
same
with
meaning.
same meaning.
Very good. Are there any pictures on that wall? Are there any pictures on that wall? Yes, there
Yes, there
are
are some
some
pictures
pictures
on
on
that
that
wall.
wall. Was there some pictures on that wall 3 lessons ago? Was there some pictures on that wall 3 lessons ago? Yes, there
Yes,
was
there
some
was
pictures
some
on
pictures
that
on
wall
that wall
three
three
lessons
lessons
ago.
ago.
Were there any books on the table last lesson? Were there any books on the table last lesson? Yes, there were
Yes, there
some
are some
books on
books
the table
on the table
last
last
lesson.
lesson.
Was there a chair in that corner during the last lesson? Was there a chair in that corner during the last lesson? No, there
No,
wasn't a
there wasn't
chair
a chair
in that
in that
corner
corner
during the last lesson.
during the last lesson.
Were there any chairs on the table last lesson? Were there any chairs on the table last lesson? No, There
No,
weren't
there
any
weren't
chairs
any
on the
chairs on
table
the
last lesson.
table last lesson.
Very good. What's the opposite of the verb to live? What's the opposite of the verb to live? The opposite
The
of the
opposite
verb
of
to
the
live
verb to do
is to
is
die.
to die.
The most people die before they're 100 years old. The most people die before they're 100 years old. Yes, most
Yes,
people
most
die
people die
before they're a
before
hundred
they're
years old.
100 years old.
When did President Kennedy die? When did President Kennedy die? President Kennedy
President Kennedy
died in
died in
1963.
1963.
Very good. And that's the end of our revision. Let's have newer. Very good. Okay, let's start. Okay, repeat. Strong,
Strong,
weak,
weak,
physical.
physical.
Very good. Okay, listen. Strong and weak are both adjectives. For example, whiskey is a strong drink. People in the UK speak English with a strong British accent, while people in India speak a strong Indian accent. Physical is an adjective. For example, Mr. Brown, Miss, Mr. Brown is strong, but Jack is weak. Men are physically stronger than boys. Let's practice. Is whiskey a weak drink? Is whiskey a weak drink? No,
No,
whiskey isn't
whiskey
a weak
isn't
drink.
a
It's a
weak drink.
strong drink.
It's strong drink.
Where are young boys generally physically stronger than men? Are young boys generally physically stronger than men? No, young
No,
boys
young
aren't
boys
generally
aren't
physically
generally
stronger
physically
than men.
stronger than men.
They're generally
They are
physically
generally
weaker
physically
than
weaker than
men.
men.
Very good. Do you speak English with a strong French accent? Do you speak English with a strong French accent? No, I don't
No, I
speak
don't
English
speak
with a
with
strong,
English with a
French accent.
strong French
I
accent.
speak it with
I
a
speak
Japanese accent.
with a Japanese accent.
Very good. Next, repeat. Soldier,
Soldier,
army,
army,
make money,
make money,
uniform.
uniform.
Very good. Okay, listen. Soldier and army are nouns. A soldier is a person who fights in a war. An army has many soldiers in it. So if there's many soldiers, it's an army. For example, I
Okay.
think China has the largest army in the world today. To make money means to obtain money. For example, a soldier gets a lot of money these days, or a soldier makes a lot of money these days. Uniform means the same set of clothes. For example, some school children wear the same clothes. They wear uniforms. Let's practice. Does a soldier make a lot of money these days? Does a soldier make a lot of money these days? Yes or no?
Yes,
A
soldier
soldier makes a lot of money
makes
these
a lot of
days.
money these days.
Which country do you think has the largest army in the world today? Which country do you think has the largest army in the world today? I think
I think China
has the largest army
has the largest
in the
army
world today.
in the world today.
What do we call the clothes that a soldier wear? What do we call the clothes that a soldier wear? We call the
Because
clothes
the
that
clothes
a soldier
that
wears
a soldier
a
wears
uniform.
a uniform.
Do most children wear uniforms at school in your country? Do most children wear uniforms at school in your country? Yes or no?
Yes, most
Most
of
children
children
wear
wear
uniforms at
uniform
school in
at
my
school
country.
in my country.
Very good. Next, repeat. Build.
Build,
Omar, build.
build.
Okay, build is a verb. It means to make something with stones, woods, etc. For example, we make a house, or we can say we build a house. Let's practice. Is it cheap to build a large house in the country? Is it cheap to build a large house in the country? No, it
No,
isn't
it
cheap
isn't
to
cheap
build
to
a
build
large house
a large
in the
house,
country.
but in the country
It's expensive.
it's expensive.
Very good. Next, repeat. Fill.
Fill,
Very good. Okay, listen. Fill is a verb. Fill means to put something into something empty. For example, when we eat, we put food into our stomachs, or we fill our stomach with food. If we want to drink water, we put water into our glass. We fill our glass with water. Let's practice. Do you fill your stomach completely when you eat? Do you fill your stomach completely when you eat? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
fill my
feel
stomach completely
my stomach
when I
completely
eat.
when I eat.
Very good. Next, repeat contain.
Contain.
Very good. Okay, listen. Contain is a verb. It means have. For example, this book has 100 pages, or this book contains 100 pages. Let's practice it. About how many pages does this book contain? About how many pages does this book contain? That book
This book,
contains
that book
about
contain about 100 pages.
100 pages.
Pages.
Very good. Next, repeat art.
Ant.
Artist.
Artist.
Very good. Art and artist are all nouns. Art means the making of things that are beautiful or that express ideas. For example, drawings and paintings are examples of art. The Mona Lisa is an art. Leonardo da Vinci is an artist. He made the Mona Lisa. Let's practice. Are you very good at art? Are you very good at art? Yes or no?
No,
I'm
I'm
not
not good
very
at
good.
art.
I'm not
Very good
very
at
good at
art.
art. Very. Was Picasso a writer or an artist? Was Picasso a writer or an artist? Picasso was an
Picasso was
artist.
an artist.
Very good. Next, repeat. Feel.
Feel
Too much.
too much.
Very good again. Listen, the word feel is a verb. For example, I didn't eat anything, so I feel hungry. Too much is an adjective. It means more than necessary. For example, I feel bad because I ate too much. Let's practice. Do you always feel in good health? Do you always feel in good health? Yes or no?
No,
I
I'm
don't.
not.
I don't
I
always
don't
feel
feel always feel
in good health.
in good health.
Right? Do you feel bad if you eat too much? Do you feel bad if you eat too much? Yes, I feel
Yes, I
bad
feel
if
bad
I eat too
when
much.
if I eat too much.
Do you feel sad in good weather? Do you feel sad in good weather? No, I
No,
don't
I
feel
don't
sad
feel sad
in good weather.
in good
I
weather.
feel happy in
I
good
feel
weather.
happy in good weather.
Very good. Okay, next repeat middle,
Middle,
center.
center.
Very good. The words middle and center are nouns. For example, let's open this. Let's check. Now, here we go. This is the middle of the square. The letter U is in the middle of the square. Another example is people don't drive their cars in the middle of the road. In most countries, they drive them on the right hand side of the road. In Japan, on left. Center is another word for middle. For example, the table's in the center of the room. Let's practice. Okay, so here we go. What part of the square is this? What part of the square is this? It's the top of
It's
the
top
square.
of square.
What part of the square is this? What part of the square is this? It's the bottom of the
It's the
square.
bottom of square.
Very good. What part of the square is this? What part of the square is this? It's the side of
It's
the
the side
square.
of the square.
What part of the square is this? What part of the square is this? It's the middle
It's the
of the
middle of
square.
the square.
Very good. Where's the letter E? Where's the letter E? The letter is
The
in
letter
the top
is
right
in
hand
the
corner
top right hand
of
corner
the square.
of the square.
Wait, where's the letter I? Where's the letter I? The letter
The
I's
letter
in the
I is
bottom
in the
left hand
bottom
corner
left hand
of
corner
the square.
of the square.
Where's the letter U? Where's the letter U? The letter U's
The letter
in the
U
middle of
in
the
the
square.
middle of the square.
Very good. Do people drive their cars in the middle of the road? Do people drive their cars in the middle of the road? No. People
No,
don't
people
drive
didn't
their cars
don't drive a car
in the
in
middle
the
of the
middle
road.
of
In
the road.
most countries, they
In
drive
most
them
countries,
on the
they
right
drive
hand
them
side
on the
of the
right
road.
hand side of the road.
What's another word for middle? What's another word for middle? Another word
The
for
other word
middle
middle
is
is
center.
center.
Very good. Is there anything in the center of this room? Is there anything in the center of this room? Yes or no?
Yes,
There's
there is
something
something
in the
in
center
center
of that
of this
room.
room, of that room.
Very good. Next, repeat. Sure.
Sure.
Very good. Okay, listen. Sure is an adjective. For example, His name's Mr. Brown, I'm sure. I have 2 ears, I'm sure. Okay, let's practice. What's your name? What's your name? My name's.
My name is Hiro.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm sure.
How many ears have you? How many ears have you? I have two
I
ears.
have 2 years.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm sure.
Very good. Okay, so next, let's have the last one. Okay, repeat. Request.
Request.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word request is a noun. A request means the act of asking for something politely. It is polite to say please in English at the end of a request. For example, open the door, please. Tell me your name, please. Or those are requests. Let's practice. Do we generally say please in English at the beginning of a request? Do we generally say please in English at the beginning of a request? No, we
Yeah.
don't
No,
generally say
don't generally
please
say
in English
please
at
in
the
English
beginning of a
at
request.
the beginning
We
of
say
the
it
request.
at the
We
end
say
of a
it
request.
and at the end
At
of the
the at
request.
the end of a
At the
request.
end of the request.
Is it polite not to say please when we make a request? Is it polite not to say please when we make a request? No, it
No,
isn't
it
polite
isn't polite
not to say please
not to say
when we
please
make a request.
when we make
It's
a
impolite.
request. It's impolite.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading.
Okay.
Okay, so our reading is at stage 3, paragraph page 154. Last headword was holiday, Christmas, Easter. Okay, start at the second question. When's Christmas?
Okay.